Nah, I just had a wasp try to attack me because his buddy decided to, you know, have a little spree on my car. You know, I look too happy. But anyway, before I get into it, I'm gonna take you around the car. See right there, they got their extended wiring harness that I did myself. Please, please, whatever you do, don't do it like this. It's bad. And this is a normal 413 DME. I got some random sonar halos from Amazon. I think they cost me around $200. If you want the actual part number, they're right here. You know, everything. Yeah. So it has just the normal bulb and then the actual projector. They're all clear, which is actually sick, and the colored bulb, which I love. Got the, you know, Canadian air filter, but say if you have a stock one, you're like, what about the secondary thermostat, right? For the heating, the coolant going into the throttle body so it doesn't freeze up. It's right here, it just sort of runs into it. It's completely fine like that. I've ran it for like a year or so. We got the actual thermostat housing, aluminum thermostat housing from SCP. You can get those for like $12 along with the gasket. It comes with it. And then the Mishimoto 68C thermostat, which is absolutely lovely for these cars if you don't upgrade the coolant system like me. I don't have that type of money. And you know, I'm using a wood block because someone decided to cut these off. Going into the interior, hopefully not with the bee. I guess he is coming along, and it's fine. That's wasps. They're basically just sugar bees right now. This is a regular M50 B25 TU. What's up, buddy? With a pretty much stock, honestly. We gotta turn it on. Like everything kind of works. I mess with the bulbs. They're super hard to get into. Put back together just because they're on a contact pin where you have to like twist it into a right spot, and if you put it opposite of that, it won't work. And you can't really test these, or you can. It's I wouldn't say, you know, recommended because variable voltage. And then we have lights around the car. I got shoes to hold tools just because I need it. And I actually took off a little under thing of this because, say, if you want to use the clutch a lot, you know, for, you know, nefarious acts or going on the track, your foot will slip because these are not very, they're textured. They're very soft, very slimy. Just the light. I got other lights, the actual like control of it, which is the control box right here. I got remote control, and then the little reindeer I got from Japan from my friend. It's later in the day because I had the lawn mowed and stuff, so, you know, had the lawn mowed and stuff. I do have a external charge port in place of the cigarette lighter. And quite honestly, to get this in, I took a Dremel. I don't think I actually had a Dremel at that point. I sanded it down, kind of scraped it with something I could use, and it works pretty alright. Just turn that on, you know, the switch, good nice little switch. I've still yet to glue this in place because you can see there the actual tabs broke off when I try to get it out. So that can just, and then I get a fast charge. I don't really know if that button works. I assume so, but turn back on, you know. The window kill switch, which is that as well, which is very weird in these cars, is that they have this actual, like, just cutting the power, like it's kind of like just a relay in there that you push the button, you know, just cut the power. Now, plastic out, because got my foot stuck in here, pretty much scared myself at death. Couldn't really, you know, drive the car like that with the foot stuck. It's basically right up in there. Just like basically sitting like this, and I couldn't move my foot. Like this whatever this is still there, but like it's basically in there like that. Got a sunroof delete. I didn't do myself. It has no glass. It just has this panel, which is pretty cool to be honest. This is, you know, E36. I didn't put that there obviously. And I mean, it works. It completely functions as it is. You have the actual motor for it, which is pretty easy to take care of. And the actual relay right here, which is still pretty easy to take care of, unless you want to get to the back pin, which isn't so easy. There's me. Hello. I have a Jensen MPR 2121 in here. It's very reliable. I haven't used this car for so long that there's no spider webs on it. Never mind. But I had taken it, if I can actually get this off with one hand, pull this out. Made it basically just big quick disconnect. So say if the, you know, car decides to catch fire back here, I would just whoop, you know. And now the concerning thing is having all these wires like kind of exposed like this, just on these ends, which I've been running for around 3 months consistently without any issue. No like change of like voltage within here, or like fluctuation. Let's see if I can. Oh, that's the wrong side. Let's put that back in. Kind of just slide. Mostly slide back in. It's not a perfect fit for how much wiring there is. I could honestly streamline that. Glove box, no door cards, obviously. Piece of door card was starting to fall off, and then got accidentally ripped off by one of my buddies. I don't blame him. I'm not gonna name names, you know. Can't really use that from back there anymore. I should actually get on the part that I'm focusing on today, which is up there. Now, when you're going inside and these spark wells, you're not really supposed to see any blackness down there. It's not really good. So as we go over here, oh, I haven't checked these prior to this, so this is a fun little experiment. And oh my, I can tell why it's misfiring at load instead of just idle. And then this very last one, there's little bits of water down there, you know, not so good. Like, very, it's actually quite concerning. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. Grab yourself a mostly clean rag, you know, this, that won't really do, but you know, clean. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if there's stuff on it. Coils are raised from the actual valve cover. So, little two tools. I can't actually see that because my phone is deciding to overheat. So, what you're gonna do is get your tip, just like nice and in there, you know, the tip of the owl. And lift this up if you decided to unbolt it. Start just coaxing it along in there. Now, a lot of people would be afraid of seeing this. Now, I, for one, am not, because I've done this for around 2 years now. I've decided to just deal with it because it's better to actually see routinely what's inside of your engine, well, at least your spark wells. And as you keep going, duck on itself in within the towel, which is not ideal, but it still got far enough down in there to get most of that out. So I forgot, whenever I actually do these, I will first jam this little Mama John in here and then start snuffing this back in there. Get in the way of all the wires, you know, like that. And let's see if I can do this with one hand. Oh, I'm good. Just keep wrenching, just keep wrenching, just keep wrenching. You know, quite honestly, I could just take this off. And yeah, that's about as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Just because of the greasy, oily fingers. And come on, give it up. I don't know why I'm just like recording myself struggling. So after you get it off, you're gonna see your damage. Now, for these being, I think, around a year old, this isn't, you know, the best. Obvious water corrosion, which is not very cool. I mean, it'll still work, no problem, but obviously you're gonna have to order a new one. And then I also don't like to see is all this blackness inside of here. It ain't very fun. And honestly, I could probably clean these and they work pretty much fine. There's no actual, if you'll actually focus, there's no actual damage on it. This is kind of there. I do have a lot of people that will go up and down my street, especially that Charger, Challenger, whatever you want to name it. He has a little it's the 360 cam on his shit. But yeah, that's not very cool to see, to be honest. That's a lot of damage per se. And if we take a little side by side in there, I would say, from looking at these, yeah, it's purely water, not really any oil like the other cylinders, and that's really just because of how the DME failed and how most of these cars will fail. Is water getting plugged up in here and is coming down basically everywhere. It's real bad in a rainstorm. You gotta put a cover over the car or something. And yeah, it's kind of fun. So I'm honestly just gonna stick it back in and hope that it works. Because if it doesn't, that'd be not so nice. Oh, yeah. These are NGKR R1 BKR6EK. I believe they're off Porsche. For Porsches off of FCP Euro. And I don't own a Porsche. Yeah. I don't. Do you see one here? I don't. But anyway, I don't know what these come from stock to like get from a junkyard, but they're very nice double footed coils. Let me get back in there and get back right now. Since I got that fully seated back in there, a thing about these valve gaskets: don't buy the wrong one. Like, sure, you can't really fuck it up, right? But you also very much can, because M52, M50 is a very similar package of engines, including the M54, all the way from B20s to the B30s, to be honest, like, all the same. What you'll notice is that, say, this will be different, just this little nudge right here on these cars, or say on the M52, I believe, or actually M54, the actual valve cover will be plastic, but a lot of times you won't see the plastic valve cover because people will opt for the obvious choice of an aluminum one, which is very nice. Now, this is, of course, the stock BMW. I think this is, I would just say iron, I'm guessing. Get in like a fender bender or something that will probably pop out. I'm not really too sure how that works. I just see that little orange thing, and it being on both sides of the car, it makes sense in my mind. Let's make sure that isn't messed up. And I believe there's another, like, actual one in the trunk. I don't know where it is. I've never had to use that. Mostly it's like analog setup. There's no real communication. After you're done cleaning them, you just put it back as normal. There are linings for the actual wires. I mean, just for the video I did it. I don't really mind it because I don't even have the proper cover for it. I have like the E36 one, this E36. That should fix, well, that did fix the misfire. It is a new day, so it's very nice. I could go in depth more of what I have done to the car. Like, I know I went through like this basic little like filter with the thermostat. I mean, I could go throughout this. I could name every single one, but you know, I don't really do that here unless it's a specific video. Now, with these, this is the fuel pump relay. I had a 4-pin Siemens that was stock, just like came stock in the car. You cannot buy those anymore. They don't make them anymore. At least I can't really find a 4-pin. So you would actually get the 5-pin out of a M3, and it works the exact same. You just put it in the exact same. You just got to find the correct switch pattern with the correct variations on the car. I'd say, I mean, it's not really much. It's just a normal sedan. They came with a Get-Trag 5-speed. I don't know if the normal 325i's came with the ZF, but it's a very easy swap. People do it all the time. So, as you can see, as I said before, I just kind of crimped all these. Say if they're, it's a real shoddy job, but like, if BMW did it, you can do it. But they didn't. That's me as well.
But actually, this has a random VIN from a different car, so it doesn't really matter. Their 413 is pretty much every single one from a 5 Series before from 94 and before, from I believe 1992. It's really whenever the actual TU model instead of the NV model, which has no Vanis at all. So I don't believe it'll have this part, or it won't extend out as much, and it really won't have that because that's the high pressure for the Vanos. The actual injectors are not stock, but they're out of I believe the M3. So here's a bit beefier, a little more, spit edge. So I should actually show how I wired up the lights. So for the halos, they're on a switch. I honestly should redo this. We're not going to talk about it. Yeah, just see if that works like that. That'd be kind of fun. About to say, I got all the grounding wires on the sides here. Even with the fenders being on here, you can have it like this. Like, there is a lip right here, so it won't fully just press down on it. That lock doesn't work remotely. Let me go, but have all the grounding wires. They're supposed to be up in that little carpet area, but I don't really have people in the passenger seat, so it doesn't really matter. It does feed off into a wire right here, this little black one that goes on to I think a 30 or 25 amp something fuse. Then that goes into a 15 amp switch, and everything just kind of flows along. I never had a problem with the actual switch. I've never had to replace that switch over a year now, year two. And I've only had to replace the fuses, which is very nice. Even with adding this, it used to just be the halos. Now I have, of course, the RGBs all on the car, even in there, in the doors type of thing. They don't really stick to the metal, but that's all right. Now, yeah, let's see if that fits. Of course not. But it does. Well, whole nother fix. There is, let me just move that out of the way. There is the stock amp in here, which when I put a fuse in it, it started to smoke and, not good things. And so I took the power and ground that was coming to it, I spliced it, made it go straight to the amp. And since the amp has a fuse on it, I'm not too worried of that ever messing up, catching on fire type of thing. The actual battery, since the car is completely rusted out back here, I made a actual battery box that you're just folding and cutting just a single sheet of metal, which is really cool. And then to actually go on the track, you need to have a battery tie down, so that's a whole ratchet strap. This battery is probably never coming out of this car, but it can, you know. And then moving on to the actual suspension of the car, we have the max speeding rods. I thought that was the logo, but no. They're just fully adjustable pretty much before it starts becoming like $1,100 for a set. I paid probably like $600. And then I have, dang, I really can't remember the name on these, but they're very nice. Make sure to buy the real ones. Make sure to put the actual name of them in the video, because that would just be unfair. And also, when you're jacking up, putting up the hood, and you don't have the actual hydraulic whatever, I can't think of names right now. Make sure not to put it onto one side. Make sure to have it down in front, you know, like the old saying, because your hood will start bending. It will start bending, which is not the coolest thing. And you'll have issues like this. When I got this car 2 years ago, the glass was completely fine until I started messing with under here. And I never tried to actually fix these, which are like 25 bucks. But I'll make a video about that and how to put those in. It's super simple. But yeah, this right here is actually from the gasket, because the gasket was starting to come out from over here and under the actual fender. So I was like, dang, I gotta fix that. So I tried to, you know, shove it in more type of thing and close the door, and yeah, not the best at all. But then right here, that's me from actually moving the hood way too high because of the of it bending, right? So, and then this little corner right here will just like start going in on itself, and yeah, not the coolest thing in the world at all. Luckily it's not all the way through, but yeah, that's what plexiglass is for, and new chassis are for. Which I do plan on chassis swapping for the engine, because the engine is goated, absolutely goated. I had a problem for 2 months where I already talked about this problem, where the actual DME got soaked in water. Not even like fully soaked in water. There was just like a little puddle in there, you know, not much. It's straight on the connector though. It dripped right on the connector. Like, say, when I open this up, you see this right here, right in here. I cut this just to, you know, custom. There's just a puddle of water, and I knew, yeah, I knew instantly. There's no questioning it. Sure, you know, the 5 stages of grief, or denial, whatever. Grief, denial, acceptance type of thing. Those are 3, but it works out. Now with this, make sure not to put them on backwards, because they can go on backwards. They'll fit up backwards. It's the weirdest thing, because then you'll have when you're braking, you'll have vibration issues. Like bad, very bad. Like, almost can't stop the car bad. And so I still have those just because of the actual toe that they're sitting on, which it's pretty much alright. I don't really mind. Cruise control works. Got that module, you know. And also the cool thing about these cars is, say, on a normal like 95 sedan with EWS, you'll have all these GM modules, right, that will actually stick down just past the glove box here, which is just a bunch of like big, you know, computers for actually, like, you know, maintaining the car, you know, it not freaking out on itself. But to actually get to these, you can just pull these, and on either side there will be, well, I can't get that out, there will be screws. I don't have this in because I like getting in there. I like the ease of access. And then down over here, there'll be that. And there'll be that screw. And then 2 screws on either side down here. Very, very easy to get to. Oh, here's an extra gasket I bought for the thermostat because I thought it wouldn't come with one. So, with these windows, mainly this one, you can see this is like, I mean, you can't really see, but this is like going out a ton, and it's actually, you know, bent forward a bit, which is also not very nice. The window isn't actually seated in there, so it's resting on top of the razor that it bolts into. And so I tried to see what the problem is one day, and this whole glass piece was just falling down. Not very nice. And then, if you ever wanted to see what the speaker wires look like from the car, and the actual connector for the mirror controls look like, that's a very, very simple process to get them off. And yeah, quite honestly, I'm gonna end the video here. It's a very solid car for what it looks like. It's definitely not a winter car. I need to get one for the winter. Maybe a 4.6, maybe something else. Maybe something I can use on FCP. You know, like a Mini or something. That'd be kind of cool. But, yeah, peace out.